Scott Walker, were he to become president, would be the first president in many generations who did not have a college degree. The issue is, how well educated is this guy?
Really? Ralph Lauren, Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, very creative people. Some might even say they're brilliant. They're all individuals who prove you don't need a college degree to be successful. But none of them ever tried to be president of the United States. Now, as the relatively unknown Republican governor of Wisconsin, Scott Walker, creeps up in the polls as a possible 2016 presidential contender, he has some Democrats, like Howard Dean, firing shots at what they might consider a very easy part of his resume, that he never finished college. Walker's tried to downplay his early exit from Marquette University, but the critics are apparently not going to let him get away that easily. Gee, what a shock. Newsmax TV's John Bachman has more on this continuing story. John?
Well, it appears that at this point, at least, Scott Walker is turning what Howard Dean and some others thought would be a negative into a positive. The issue blew up right after we first talked about it right here on MidPoint. But regardless, the Wisconsin governor got off to a fast start in Iowa at Steve King's Iowa Freedom Summit and has not looked back since. The latest Quinnipiac poll, which takes a look at key swing states, has Walker trailing Hillary Clinton now by just 2 points, the closest Republican rival to Clinton. And Walker's latest comments on the matter show he is not scared to talk about it.
That's kind of the elitist, government knows best, top-down approach from Washington we've heard from years. We've had a Ivy League trained lawyer in the White House for the last 6 years who was pretty good at reading off a teleprompter, but done a pretty lousy job leading this country.
Ouch, teleprompter burn there. Walker also says that he left college because he had an opportunity to start a career, but that he values college for those who choose that path. Walker dropped out of school when he was in his senior year. Some say it's tied to the fact that he lost his first political campaign for state office or school office there, but he's chalked up a long list of huge wins as an elected official, most notably his efforts on pension reform that have saved Wisconsin taxpayers $3 million. And don't forget about the recall election he won against the odds. Fact is, Walker has dealt with the issue of his college years for a while. He's comfortable talking about it, obviously. The Washington Post blog, The Fix, says, quote, "This seems to be a major strategic mistake that could badly backfire on Democrats if Walker happened to become the Republican nominee in 2016. Now, Dean's comments we showed you certainly smack of that liberal elitism that Walker talks about, and that desperately hurts Democrats with blue-collar voters. And that's why Walker could be setting himself up for some major grassroots conservative donor support. Ed, you mentioned some uber-successful college dropouts. We did not mention billionaire GOP backer Sheldon Adelson. He's also on that list, so you know that won't bother him if Walker doesn't have a degree. Also, Bloomberg Politics just declared Scott Walker the, quote, king of Koch world, as in the GOP mega donors, the Koch brothers. They've been big supporters of the Wisconsin governor in the past, donating millions of dollars to his recall campaign, and they are reportedly ready to dole out close to $900 million during this election cycle. And Ed, not only has Walker made the right friends in the GOP's more conservative donor circles, he's also proven he can rake it in places like New York, where he's been picking up steam with Wall Street donors who helped Mitt Romney get the nomination the last time around.
I think once again we are seeing that the Democrats, like everybody else, John, everybody attacks everybody is looking for something. But specifically with Howard Dean sitting there, and I happened to see that interview that day on MSNBC, and he just sat there, and even Joe Scarborough really just looked at him and said, seriously, do you really want to say that? He backs up on it again. I think what we're seeing is now the left is starting to get punished for the things that they say. I mean, the right certainly has had that happen to them here before Barack Obama was elected, and even now in his last couple of years. But mistakes like this are just foot and mouth disease, and I'll bet you that Scott Walker and his people are going, bring it on. Come on. We love this.
And I just found this article when I was doing some research for this from the Daily Beast, talking about Sheila Jackson Lee, the congressman from Texas, and some of her greatest hits, saying the Constitution is 400 years old, talking about North Vietnam still being in existence. The list goes on. Folks can Google that, check out the Daily Beast article. But this stuff is coming up now, and folks aren't talking about Scott Walker's college history. They're talking about other folks who have degrees. Sheila Jackson Lee has a degree from Yale University, also a law degree from the University of Virginia.
You don't have to be smart to say something stupid. Welcome to the world of politics. John, thanks so much for the report, my friend.
A pleasure as always. Ed.
All right, second hour coming up on MidPoint. We'll say the smart things here, because when you join us, we'll talk a little bit about what's happening in the medical world. And also, let us bring to light that we've talked so much about ISIS in the last couple of days, but we need to now talk about what the president is doing at the White House with regard to this summit, and see whether this summit really proves that anybody knows how to defeat an enemy overseas. We'll do that and a whole lot more when we continue right here on MidPoint.